match the keyword. What is the keyword here? Finance. What do you mean by the word called finance? If your private industries need some money, they need a financer. So this particular institution will try to finance foreign capital for your country. As simple as that. If your private industries are looking for money, who will give it? IFC will give it. MEGA. What is it? Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. In this year's budget, the FDI in defense and insurance sector has been increased from 26% to 49%. ठीक है? अगर नहीं पता है तो मैं कसम खा के कहता हूं कि जो भी कह रहा हूं सच के सिवा और कुछ नहीं कह रहा हूं. ठीक है? The FDI in defense sector and insurance sector has been increased from 26% to 49%. It means there is a more market of how many percent? 23%. That particular FDI will be brought by which institution, which is called MEGA. So MEGA is basically interested in bringing FDI in your country. So you have to just remember one keyword: IBRD, costlier loans. So we'll be investing in infrastructure. IDA, soft loan. So we'll be investing in social sector schemes. MEGA encompasses our established FDI, and we're talking about IFC, foreign capital for private industries. Okay. ICSID will not be done here, so I'm going to.
Sir, what is the limitation with IDA? Why don't we take each and every loan from IDA then?
अभी चला तुम ही तो अकेले हो. There is a limitation, na? Alright. Few of the data here, which I will mention. See, it was the year of 1949. We wanted to organize our railways. Okay, so the first time which we took our loan for the IBRD, being an independent country of India, was for our Indian railways. Okay, and then yes, we have the offices in Delhi. That is all working here. It's fine. 1956, Rourkela steel plant. You know, Rourkela steel plant. Anybody from Jharkhand here or that place? Rourkela steel plant. Chota Nagpur plateau. You know, Chota Nagpur plateau, consisting of states like Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal, the powerhouse of all the minerals, rare earth materials like uranium you take coal mines, aluminium, dolomite, all are there in that particular area. और ये याद रखना, wherever you have resources, they are doomed to be भिखारी countries. Africa को देख लो, Kenya, Uganda, Bolivia, Nigeria, all this country. If I want to replace the name of Africa, I can just call it AIDS and Ebola. समझ में आएगा, it's Africa. Okay, right. So World Bank has helped India in a lot of parameters, right from the railways to Rourkela steel plant, and you won't believe today we are almost running 78 projects sponsored by World Bank. Even World Bank has appreciated India program like Midday Meal Scheme, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, MG Narega. Midday Meal, you know, providing food to the students so that the elementary education becomes important. Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, universalization of elementary education. MG Narega, providing 100 days competent work to any adult who is ready to do unskilled work. So these kind of scheme of government has proved to be very much fruitful, and World Bank of yes.
Sir, is Narega really benefit for the country? Because what the job government provides to the Narega people is like uprooting of the grass, and they are becoming like more of आलसी लोग, क्योंकि they know they will do this job and will earn, so they will not try harder to earn.
What name you told? तुम्हारा नाम क्या होता है?
Achal.
Achal. देखो, he asked a very good question, logical question. You know Keynes, economist. Keynes का नाम सुना है ना? अभी तो सुना है यार. You tell lies. Keynes told that if your economy is not running, ask your people to dig a khadda and again bhar do. Dig a khadda and again bhar do. You have done that time and work sums. If 3 people can dig a pit in this much days, how much time will 2 women and 1 children will take to dig the same pit? अभी मैं बोलूँ एक बार खुद गया ना यार, दोबारा क्या खोदना है? वो हो गया. It means, see, jokes apart, MG Narega started with this. You are right. MG Narega started with the same philosophy. See what will happen. If no productive work is happening, I'm just asking them to uproot a grass or uproot a tree, but in that particular work, what that particular person is getting? He is getting money. Now, from that process, whatever he will do is economic transaction meaningful for your country. This has been done till the time MG Narega got accepted by people that it is a belief that yes, I will get paid. Because you cannot accept people from day one to do a welding and electrician job to work in MG Narega. They should get friendly to it. You should have attachment to it. Okay? इतने भीड़ में मुझे एक ही लड़की क्यों पसंद नहीं? वो मेरे जैसी है. आगे बहुत हाई फाई होगी बोले यार स्कोप की बाहर है क्यों ही बोलूं. So if I am getting a job, I have to be in my category. So I know घास उखाड़ना एक गांव के लोगों को आता है, पेड़ काटना गांव के लोगों को आता है. That is why they can got their linkages and they came out of their introvert quality and moved into extrovert quality. Yes, I can do that job and I need. Once the process is started, the word of mouth has started. In this year budget of MG Narega, there is an advancement of salary appraisal from 17% to 13% as per the equability and the DRS allowance of each state. Now, the people who are working in MG Narega will be making their own infrastructure. You have heard about Anganwadi centers? Where pregnancies is taken care of and lactating mothers can go. These people will be making Anganwadi centers from themselves. Constructive? Now you have Nirmal Bharat program where people can open toilets. People will make toilets for themselves. No wonder you are making toilets and wahan bakri bandh dete. Because they don't know that what is the uses of toilet. What is the social strata to sit in a toilet and do it. 6.4% of your GDP is getting paralyzed because half of the people are dying because of diarrhea or because of cholera. 1 in 20 deaths in India are happening because of sanitation problem. No worry, in Narendra Modi want to give Swachh Bharat in 2015 to 2019 to Mahatma Gandhi. अलग बात इलेक्शन का मुद्दा भी तब वही रहेगा. Second, first thing you got, Arumadi said. Second, they are also making toilets for their villages. They are making community toilets. So now you can say that constructive work has started. But first of all, whenever you start a thing, तुमको थोड़ा सा uneconomical होना पड़ेगा. The kind of subsidies you give to the farmers, sometimes it gets wasted. Na? If there is no rainfall happening, the subsidy gets wasted. But you have to give. What to do? So now his question was correct. MG Narega has become more economical. It is working for Anganwadi centers. It is working for Nirmal Abhiyan program. It is working to develop the local infrastructure of the villages. Okay? And yes, there is one more thing. I will discuss later on. When you get good, तब हंसा दूँगा. अभी तो you are very good mood. So this is I चुराया इसको actually. Copy paste हो नहीं रहा. So World Development Report 2015, and the beautiful topic is mind and culture. You know what? There was one survey done by this World Bank, people of some NGOs around something, which World Bank has incorporated the report. There was one puzzle test done, and in which the caste of the participants were not announced on the stage. The performance of the lower caste and the higher caste participant were almost equal. But the moment one of the guys came and announced that this set of guys are from the lower caste and this set of guys are from the upper caste, the performance became lower on the part of the lower caste. Okay, this is one of that particular orientation. Second, sugarcane farmers in India have two orientation. One before harvest and one after harvest. Before harvest, they are the most poor people because you can sell sugarcane just once. Sugarcane पूरे साल में एक बार ही harvest होता है और आपका पूरा field is busy or for that particular food crop only. Okay, so there is a psychological and anthropological error which is happening to a human being. If you take any social sector scheme, if you take any employment scheme, if you take any education scheme to that particular farmer, sugarcane farmer, before the harvest, will he accept it? Will he accept it? No, because he is having that I am a poor person and all the technology, all the thought process, all the ideology will be negative in him. Because during that particular moment, उसके लिए भगवान पैसा है. It is not about the scheme, it's not about the education, it's not about anything. But if you introduce the same scheme after the harvest, he is having good amount of money, what will happen? He will listen to your scheme because अगर पेट में रोटी है तभी वो काम करेगा. A hungry man is a angry man. Suppose if I am a salesperson and if I want to sell something which you don't require, मुझे पता तुम्हारा लाइफ में कभी काम नहीं आएगा. ठीक है? What time will I choose? I will choose first day of the month. Place where you are sitting with your girlfriend. Sir, क्या आप ये भी नहीं पाते? And then I will look at the girlfriend. क्या Your ego will allow you to what? Main ego बहुत बड़ी चीज है बॉस, जितना हाइट वेट नहीं उससे बहुत बड़ी चीजें होती है, ठीक है? So what is that? That will happen. So that is a true thing, you know. World Bank is telling one thing, that if you want to develop a country, if you want to have growth, please try to understand their culture. Please try to understand their socio-economic orientation. The better understanding the culture of you have, the better socio-economic orientation you have, the better is the perspective and the impact of development you have. Otherwise you cannot develop. See, in urban area you have chutti in summer and you have chutti in winters because of the climate orientation. But don't you think in rural areas this matter does not work? Because you should give chutti in the harvest season where the parents require the children to work in the agricultural field, and you should give chutti when there is no work in the agricultural field, because urban chutti cannot match the rural chutti. So if you understand the culture, if you understand the demand of the people, so you can understand why mid-day meal scheme. Because if parents know that एक दिन का खाने का खर्चा वो स्कूल उठा रही है, वो आपके अपने बच्चे को भेजेगा जरूर. You know what happened? Like Anchal, no? Anchal. आज सेशन एंड तक तुम्हारा नाम सीख जाऊंगा. Anchal told that sir MG Narega program did not is doing constructive work नहीं कर रहा है. Same happened to mid-day meal scheme. Children used to just come before the lunch, have it and go away. But it's fine. One day will come 5 minutes before, then 10 minutes before, then 20 minutes before, and if the things are very much good, accustomed to them, what will happen? At time will come, will start staying back. And now it has started to stay back. Now it has been even recognized by the World Bank, and even recognized by the IMF. All the international economics politicians are talking about the good thing about the mid-day meal scheme. Yes, so everything has its opportunity. Everything will have reach a break-even point. Okay, this is what. So this was beautiful. So I wanted to share this with you. You can utilize the GDPI if there. 5. G8 nations, you know. G8 nations. What is it? G7. Two लिखा G8 की जगह G7. What happened? Criminal crisis. What in criminal crisis? अच्छा, who are the permanent members of United Nations? And common countries here. See, these are those G8 countries. Well, this was the initiative and prerogative of France in 1975. We started it with G6, then G7 is Canada and G8 is Russia. एक हम मेथड पढ़ते हैं ना, first in last out, LIFO FIFO. तो इसका है last in first out, LIFO. Russia is LIFO, right? Last in and first out. Understand, the basic propaganda of United Nations is that you have come together. Why? Because you are the richest countries of the world. You have the great purchasing power. You are the people who have been seen as a role model by the other countries, that you know, I will follow the Russian model to grow, I will follow the US economic model to grow. You have been such. And the basic entity of United Nations is that you need to protect the international boundaries, respect towards each other. You should have that respect. You should not cross that respect and try to fight it out. If a country like Russia, which is common in G8 and which is there as a superpower across, if these countries will be taking infringement in the other political sovereignty of other countries, what will happen? What message will we throw? That is the big question mark. That is the big question mark here. That is why, you know, countries like G6, G7 thrown out Russia. हुआ क्या था? Crimea कांड क्या था? Russia was integrated once upon a time, and you have balkanization of Russia or USSR से वो Russia. Now in Ukraine there is a छोटू place called Crimea. Okay, the ethnic crowd, more than 50% belong to Russian origin. What happened? These people wanted that I want freedom from Ukraine, and I want to get established with Russia. Now, don't you think if this is a part of Ukraine, formally announced, accepted by the United Nations, it is the internal matter of Crimea or Ukraine? What Russia did, with the help of the revolutionaries, it marched, captured all the local government bodies like government hospitals, local police station across, and if suppose Maldives may, if we cover a country like Maldives, you have seen Maldives? 4 mole like of thing on Indian Ocean. ऐसा लग रहा है किसी कुछ पत्ता फेंक दिया समुद्र को वैसा. अगर मैं तुम लोग को भी भेजूंगा तो मालदीव जीत के आ जाओगे कुर्सी के साथ। जानने की जरूरत नहीं है। Same is the situation for Ukraine and Russia. For Russia, Ukraine is a very small country. Ukraine understands it. And what it did, it withdrew all its troops, all its police from Crimea and took it back from the Ukraine. And Crimea was becoming the officially part of Russia. You know, one beautiful thing happened. Let me add it here itself. In the G20 meet, which was happening in the Brisbane, Australia, the president, Mr. Harper, the president of Canada, was about to shake hand with Russian president. So, you know, Russian president told, Canadian president told, I will only shake hand with you if you are out of Ukraine. If you are out of Ukraine. So the Russian president shook hand and told, we were not there. And we are never there. So the point of coming out is not there. So these people are very much diplomatic. Okay. The idea is something hidden is decided. We were not there, we were never there. It means it was ever been the part of Russia only. We have not overtaken it. That is the issue here. Now, fine. The main important point was that Russia got excluded because of its Crimea crisis. The rest of the story will say yes. G7 plus 5 leading emerges because here Russia BRICS, you know. Russia could not be part because it was the part of G8 only. So the country to mention here specifically is Mexico. Is the country is of Mexico. So remember, Mexico is on the town of emerging economies. Okay, fine. G20. What is so official about G20? India? India is a member of? किसका है ये इतना golden device दिख नहीं रहा? India is a member of G20. India अगर member नहीं होता तो फिर पढ़ाते क्यों? What is official great about G20? You know, G20 is the outcome of the meet of G8 only. These guys only made G20. Why? You have heard about subprime crisis? Have you heard of it? What was it? अरे देसी बॉस तो मूवी देखी होगी, जॉर्ज इब्राहिम और अक्षय कुमार का ऑन कॉर्नर हैंडीकैप. Your flight came from England just now, or all of you? Flight कहाँ से? इंग्लैंड से आ रही है क्या? ऑटो से नहीं आया, मेट्रो से. देसी बॉस इज अ इंडियन मूवी. जॉर्ज इब्राहिम इज मच मोर इंडियन. अक्षय कुमार को मैं जानता ही हूँ. देसी बॉय you haven't seen? Okay. So in that movie, this guy is out of job because of subprime crisis. Don't ask me उसके बाद वो क्या job करता है, but that. ठीक है? See, somewhere down the line, this developed country understood one thing, that if they want to build business and if they want to secure their supremacy, they have to have a pooling of developing economies, and that is none other than group of G20 countries. Okay? Now, G20 countries is famous in local arena who do not have understanding is because of the leaders who are the prime ministers of a country or the president of the G20 countries. So basically, it has been made by the finance ministers and the governors of central bank across India. Because this is G20 is a meet where you have the financial discussion. If you look about the subprime crisis, when it happened in the United States, the first meeting which the United States called for was not G8 but was G20, because it looked towards a developing economy for that particular help. Because it knew that if US has been affected, all the developing economies attached to it will be affected. Because in today's scenario, everything is linked to US. You cannot at all harm US. And that particular stability has been taken over by China. Now, you see the petrol prices are coming down. What is the answer behind? Why petrol prices are coming down? Yes, I understand, yes. Shale gas is taking an alternative towards the petroleum products, that is there. But the main issue?
Demand is coming down.
Yes, yes, demand is coming down. Then why demand is coming down?
China's industrial activities slowing down.
I will delete in all my PPTs China. You know, I will vomit if you are one who say China. I tell you, China can never win a football World Cup. Why? China can never win a football World Cup. You know why? Huh? See, in football game, every 5 minutes you have to make a strategy. Yes or no? Every 5 minutes you need to make a strategy. Then Chinese, You have to come from the side. I have to come from the side. We'll hit the ball and we'll go from the side. And by the time we discuss, 3 goal खा चुके हैं. So leave apart China. कहीं वो भी मार खाते हैं. Now you tell me. See, the largest market or the energy hungry country for petroleum products was United States of America. America this time has doubled the production of their petroleum. So these people do not have any demand. So the country is like OPEC, oil, petroleum exporting country, for example Saudi, Vietnam, they are having tough time. And that is why to create a demand, what they have done, they have decreased the price of petroleum, main cause. And second cause, what you have mentioned is perfect to find that shale gas is taking an alternative towards it. Maybe nuclear energy is also coming to picture, solar energy is also coming to picture, or hydroelectricity is also coming to picture. So these are all fundas which are taking over the petroleum products. Understood? Okay. So this is there. So somewhere down the line, United States of America is playing a great role in bringing the price of the petroleum down. Okay.
Sir, is it for Russia also? USA internationally.
Sir, the crude is internationally traded, right? So it's not in the hands of Saudi Arabia to reduce the price.
It's all, that is why I mentioned OPEC, na? This country, this 20.
OPEC, like it's not, it's in internationally determined price. Like they can't say, okay, we will start.
No. It's like that only. It's a cartel system. You know what is cartel? When two monopoly people come together to decide the market price and confirm for their product, it is called a cartel. It's an official agreement. OPEC is one of the examples internationally based cartel where all the oil exporting countries, petroleum in specific, come together to decide the barrel of amount. Itna barrel ka itna cost hoga. So these people are doing it because the moment they diverge, उनका economy खत्म हो जाएगा. Because economy is based on, देखो मिडिल ईस्ट में एक कहावत है. ये जो शेख साहब लोग थे, ये ऊंट पे चढ़ा करते थे. किस पे चढ़ा करते थे? अचानक ऊंट से कूद के हेलीकॉप्टर पे चढ़ गए. क्यों? क्योंकि नीचे से तेल निकल गया. ठीक है? Blessing in disguise. So that what happened. So they will be always be in a group because the moment they get isolated, one will start selling at a lower price, so the other, and so the other. The real value of petrol is how much? 22 rupees a liter. The real value is 22 rupees. But ये अपना foreign exchange का झमेला वाला करके it is getting sky high. And yes, CNG is also coming into picture. In Delhi, CNG is also coming to picture. And thanks to the population, metro में भी भीड़ अच्छी खासी है. You know, sometimes I find better winter season और अच्छा है metro बनाने के लिए. Because if you go in summer, carry a deo with you. दूसरों को डालने के लिए. ठीक?
Sir, is it because of US also they are intentionally decreasing because Russia will go down with it because Russia is also a major producer of.
No, that is not the orientation because we can actually see it for yourself that production in USA has doubled. So this is not a political gimmick. This is actually there. If but yes, the US is trying. If you are asking about the pressure, they are creating pressure on Russia. Not because of this economic orientation is not there. This is true. Alternative. See, for example, take your country. You have options, right? Recently, nuclear power plant in Kudankulam in Tamil Nadu have started doing a commercial electricity cell. एक न्यूज़पेपर नाम की चिड़िया उड़ती रहती है पूरे इंडिया में. तुम्हारे घर में बैठती है क्या गलती से? उसको खोलो, पालो और पढ़ो. ठीक है? Start study.
So it is not intentional from the US to decrease the to have.
No. See what has happened. US has not done anything directly. See what I was mentioning. US was having the largest demand of petroleum product. This time their home country has doubled the production of petroleum. So the demand itself has not been so high. So the remaining petrol is there in the market. Where will they sell? So they are selling at a lower price. That is why in India also it has been decreased. And the government has not given subsidies. Narendra Modi has seen in his speech he has not mentioned called subsidies is not there. So don't worry. It is just yes.
Sir, America has discovered 2 new oil fields.
Yes, that's what. Yes, correct. आप उतना डीप में जाओगे तो हाँ.
ये जो crude price का the price is coming down. Like हमारे country में कोई storage का वो नहीं है क्या कि 10-20 साल का मतलब crude जो है मतलब secure.
All of you prepare one kidney has to be sold for a demand. एक किडनी बेचनी होगी. Are you ready? फिर ले आएंगे जितना तेल चाहिए. It cannot happen. I will tell you later.
मतलब चाइना ने तो किया ना रशिया के साथ 20 साल का एग्रीमेंट साइन कर लिया.
See.
We will not discuss.
Fine. अब I cannot help it. मेरे को चाइना का नाम लेना पड़ेगा. Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. If I talk about 12th 5-year plan, you know 12th 5-year plan? India is at the moment running 12th 5-year plan. You know, the infrastructure demand is $1 trillion. Is $1 trillion. We need infrastructure, and the cost of infrastructure jitna hame chahiye, that is $1 trillion. Imagine, neither World Bank, neither IMF, neither Asian Development Bank, and neither any bank can give us $1 trillion. Leave about $1 trillion, they cannot even give the 25% required. So what the government is doing? What government is doing? It's propagating FDI. It is propagating Make in India. Now I need to discuss a few of the important aspects of my budget so that I have to understand my international possibilities, my international competency. See, understand, Make in India is an international campaign where Narendra Modi is asking all the international fighters to come and open a manufacturing sector here. Accept it. But Raghuram Rajan also had an important point. Raghuram Rajan has very one important point. Suppose you don't have to just have to imagine if this is North America, okay? This is South America. This is Europe. This is AIDS and Ebola. This is Russia. This is Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, This is India. This is China. This is Australia, and this is New Zealand. We all know China is the largest exporter across the world. Yes or no? Now, second point. North America is self-sufficient because it has countries like USA and Canada. Brazil और अर्जेंटीना को छोड़ दिया तो साउथ अमेरिका में सिर्फ फुटबॉल होता है. If I talk about Europe, these have their own currency: euro, euro dollar, euro bank, everything made in euro. If you talk about Africa, they only need AIDS का vaccination and roti और कुछ नहीं. If I talk about Russia, these people are just fighting for their USSR perspective. कान में तालिबानी है और कुछ है. If I talk about Australia, New Zealand, buffaloes are more and people are less. Even if 100 companies will come in the process of FDI, Make in India, and open 100 manufacturing plant in India, where is the market to sell? हाँ? रोटी तो खाती नहीं जा रही है, तुम फॉरेन का माल कर दोगे. Where is the market? India does not need FDI to happen. India needs market first. If market is there, our Indian company only is competent enough to do it. But Raghuram Rajan has very important point. He is taking, instead of making it Make in India, why cannot make it Make for India? Suppose the fan demand of this Indian made fan is 10 and Indian economy is just able to manufacture 8. Don't you think 2 fans should be outsourced from other countries so that you can fill the vacuum of demand? That is what we should do for India rather than Make in India. There is also concern over the ecologist and environmentalist. What if Make in India becomes Pollute in India? All the hazardous, all the chemical orientations start to open up in India. Then what will happen? Dustbin in India, chemical in India, alcohol, drugs in India. So these things have to be created in mind. That is why Narendra Modi in a week's back speech very smartly mentioned, if I am talking about FDI, my main full form of FDI is not foreign direct investment, it is first develop India. I will only allow those companies to open in my economy or in my country who lay golden eggs. Let's see in the future what is the orientation of this Narendra Mahatma Gandhi ka boy, what he is doing. Fine. When I am talking about Asian Infrastructure Bank, remember, if you are a developing economy, the backbone of development can only happen if you have proper infrastructure. If I combine the infrastructure demand of all the developing economies, no World Bank, no IMF, or no Asian Development Bank can match the requirement and provide such loans. What is the benefit of for India in Asian Infrastructure Bank? What is the benefit? We are the second largest contributor towards this bank. It means we have larger say, larger veto power in this bank. And what else? What else do you think is a benefit for India? We do not have to be dependent so much on the programs called FDI and Make in India for the FDI to come and invest in India. We will have our own independent resources, economical resources and financial resources so that we can develop our own economy and fill the gap of that $1 trillion of infrastructure investment. Okay, so that is the main scenario. Okay, so
China,
Who said China?
The
You only said twice.
In China, we have like so much wasted infrastructure. I mean, there are already colonies built in which dogs stay and animals stay. There are
In China you have dogs?
snakes stay.
Ah.
There are like cities which are vacant.
So what is your question? उसको भरना है तो दो भेज देंगे सर.
So why they are creating so much surplus cities?
See, I tell you, the question is not surplus. See, we focus on the banking sector. See, why China is emphasizing on new development bank to have their head office in Shanghai? Why this Asian Infrastructure Bank? Remember, China will have one propaganda here. If all these banks are in China, people will be taking loan from this bank. The largest stockholder is who? China. China will get interest amount. Then China dollar becomes strong. Maybe after 50 years, instead of US dollar being the strong currency, China currency can be the second, not the first strong currency. Because it started, this bank is called an alternative to World Bank. Even the Jim Yong Kim, the South Korean president of World Bank, is telling that is a good initiative. Because he knows himself that IMF and World Bank are not competent to fulfill the demands of the developing economy, the kind of infrastructure projects which is going on. So this is a good orientation. China will benefit. And China is also working with this bank to develop Silk Route so that it can more facilitate its trades. Okay, but for my Indian perspective, yes, I will be getting